Simsbury Light Opera Company is back. Thank you. My name is Ralph Sherman. I have the honor of serving as the president of the Simsbury Light Opera Company. I thank you for being here today. I thank you for showing your love of live theater and live music. I also want to thank our many donors, patrons, advertisers, sponsors, volunteers, and the Simsbury Public Schools, and in particular Mr. Michael Hunter, for helping see to it that we got to use this beautiful new performance space, our first time here. And we're liking it. I think you're going to like it too. Speaking of the auditorium, I need to remind you, please, no food or drink inside the auditorium. Please keep your masks on when you're in the building unless you're out in the lobby eating or drinking. I want to recognize someone in the audience. This year, well, last year, our longtime accompanist, Elizabeth White, retired from that position, and this year we had a new accompanist who took us from the first rehearsal up until just about 2 weeks ago when she unfortunately became incapacitated temporarily. She's feeling better, and she's with us today. She's the accompanist who took us from the start, really, on this show. I'm getting choked up, and she's the one who's credited in the program, rightly so. Leslie Merwin, who's right down here. Many of you probably know that the Simsbury Light Opera Company started in 1945, and we have done one big full-scale dress like this every year, except the 2 years because of the pandemic. So this is our 75th show. It's the same show we did the first year that we did a show when the company was brand new, 35 plus years ago. But this is the first time we've been able to do this in 3 years. So we've been waiting 3 years for this, and you've been waiting 3 years, and therefore, without further ado, I introduce you to our brilliant musical director and conductor, Nathaniel Baker.
to make us more than merry, let the pilot on the past. For today our pirate apprentice rises from indentured free. Strong as arm and keen dissenters, he's a pirate now indeed. Here's the nod to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his indentures. 22 now he's rising, and below he's meant to fly, which were bent on signalizing with unusual friends of mine. Here's the nod to Frederick's ventures, Frederick's out of his indentures. For aboard the pirate sharing, it'll fill the pirate glass, and to make us more than merry, let the pirate bumper pass. Yes, Frederick, from today you rank as a full-blown member of our band. Hurrah!
My friends, I thank you all from my heart for your kindly wishes. Would that I could repay them as they deserve.
What do you mean?
Today, I am out of my indentures. And today, I leave you forever.
What? This is quite unaccountable. A keener hand at scuffling a Cunarder or cutting out a carnival cruise. Now should the hands fight. Aye!
Yes, I have done my best for you. And why? It was my duty under my indentures. As a child, I was regularly apprenticed to your band. It was through an error. No matter. The mistake was ours, not yours. And I was in honor bound by it.
An error?
What error? I may not tell you. Oh, you can tell me. It will reflect upon my well-loved duty.
Nay, dear master, my mind hath long been gnawed by the cankering tooth of mystery. Better have it out at once. When Frederic was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd apprentice him to some career seafaring. I was alas his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for a hardy lad, though surely not a high lot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot. I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers, always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing, mistaking my instructions, which within my brain did gyrate. I took and bound the promising boy apprentice to a pirate. A sad mistake it was to make and doom him to a pilot. I bound him to a pirate instead of to a pilot. I soon found out beyond all doubt the scope of this disaster, but I hadn't the face to return to my place and break it to my master. A nursery maid is not afraid of what you people who work, so I made up my mind to go as a kind of piratical maid of all work. And that is how you'll find me now, a member of your Shiloh, which you wouldn't have found had he been bound apprentice to a pilot. much alike.
They were. They still are. Though years have rolled over their heads. But this afternoon, my obligation ceases. Individually, I love you all with an affection unspeakable. But collectively, I look upon you with a disgust that amounts to absolute detestation. Oh, pity me, my beloved friends, for such is my sense of duty, that once out of my indentures, I shall feel myself bound to devote myself, heart and soul, to your extermination.
Poor lad, poor lad. Well, Frederic, if you conscientiously feel it is your duty to destroy us, we cannot blame you for acting on that conviction. Always act in accordance with the dictates of your conscience, me boy, and chance the consequences.
Besides, we can offer you but little temptation to remain with us. We don't seem to make piracy pay. I'm sure I don't know why, but we don't.
I know why, but I mustn't tell you, it wouldn't be right.
Why not, me boy? It's only 11:30, and you're one of us until the clock strikes 12.
True. And until then, you are bound to protect our interests.
Well, then it is my duty as a pirate to tell you, you are too tender-hearted. For instance, you make a point of never attacking a weaker party than yourselves. And whenever you attack a stronger party, you invariably get thrashed.
There is some truth in that.
Then again, you make a point of never attacking an orphan.
Of course, we are orphans ourselves, and know what it is.
Yes, but it is got about. And what is the consequence? Everyone we capture says he's an orphan. The last 3 ships we took proved to be manned entirely by orphans. And so we had to let them go. One would think Great Britain's mercantile navy was recruited solely from her orphan asylums, which we know is not the case.
But hang it all, you would have us absolutely merciless.
That's my difficulty. Until 12, I would. After 12, I wouldn't. Oh, was ever a man placed in so delicate a situation?
And Ruth, your own Ruth, whom you love so well, and who has made her middle-aged way into your boyish heart. What is to become of her?
Oh, he will take you with him.
Well, Ruth, I feel some difficulty about you. It is true that I admire you very much, but I've been constantly at sea since I was 8 years old. And yours is the only woman's face I've seen during that time. I think it is a sweet face.
It is. Oh, it is.
I think it is, but as I have never had the opportunity of comparing you with other women, it is just possible I may be mistaken.
True.
What a terrible mistake it would be if I were to marry this innocent person, only to find out that she is, on the whole, plain.
Ruth is very well indeed.
Yes. There are the remains of a fine woman about you.
Do you really think so?
I do.
Well, then I would not be so selfish as to take her from you. In justice to her, and in consideration for you, I will leave her behind.
No, Frederic, this must not be. We are rough men.
Rough!
We need our rough life.
Rough!
But we are not so utterly heartless as to deprive thee of thy love. No, I think I'd be right in saying that there is not one here who would rob thee of this inestimable treasure. For all the world holds dear.
Not one!
Well, I thought there wasn't. Keep thy love, Frederic. Keep thy love.
You're very good, I'm sure.
It's the top of the tide, and we must be off.
Farewell, Frederic.
When your process of extermination begins, let our deaths be as swift and painless as it can conveniently make them.
I will. I swear it, and the love I have for thee. Would that you could render this extermination unnecessary by accompanying me back to civilization.
Never, Frederic, it cannot be. I don't think much of our profession. But contrasted with respectability, it is comparatively honest. No, Frederic, I shall live and die a pirate king!
Oh, better far to live and die under the brave black flag I fly. That play of sanctimonious pot, the pirate head, the pirate heart. Away to the cheating world go, where pirates all are well to do. But I'll be true to the song I sing, and live and die a pirate king, for I am a pirate king. It is a glorious thing to be a pirate king, for I am a pirate king. Robb the pirate king. And it is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. It is for Robb the pirate king, for Robb the pirate king. When I sally forth to seek my prey, I help myself in a royal way. I sink a few more ships, it's true, than a well-bred man ought to do. But many a king on a first-class road, if he wants to call his crown his own, must manage somehow to get through more dirty work than ever I do. For I am a pirate king. It is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. For I am a pirate king. Robb the pirate king. It is a glorious thing to be a pirate king. It is for Robb the pirate king, for Robb the pirate king.
Oh, take me with you. I cannot live if I am left behind.
Ruth, I will be quite candid with you. You are very dear to me, as you know, but I must be circumspect. You see, you are considerably older than I. A lad of 21 usually looks for a wife of 17.
A wife of 17. You shall find me a wife of 1,000.
No. But I will find you a wife of 47, and that is quite enough. Ruth, tell me candidly and without reserve, compared with other women, how are you?
I will answer you truthfully, master. I have a slight cold, but otherwise I am quite well.
I am sorry for your cold, but I was referring rather to your personal appearance. Compared with other women, are you beautiful?
I have been told so, dear master.
But lately,
Oh, no! Years and years ago.
what do you think of yourself?
It is a delicate question to answer, but I think I am a fine woman.
That is your candid opinion.
Yes,
the right thing, and if, and I say if, you truly are a fine woman, well then age shall be no obstacle to our union.
Climbing over rocky mountains, skipping rivulets and fountains.
Hark! Surely I hear voices. Who has ventured to approach our all but inaccessible there? Can it be Custom House? No, it did not sound like Custom House.
Confusion! It is the voices of young girls. If he should see them, I am lost.
Oh, that's marvelous. A family of beautiful maidens.
Lost!
How lovely, how surpassingly lovely is even the plainest of them. What grace, what delicacy, what refinement. And Ruth told me she was beautiful. Oh, false one, you have deceived me.
I have deceived you.
Yes, deceive me. You told me you were fair as gold.
And master, am I not so?
And now I see you're plain and gold.
I'm sure I'm not a junk so.
Upon my innocence you play.
I'm not the one to blow so.
Your face is lined, your hair is gray.
Glad you only got so.
There's woman who deceive me, I could trust itself.
Master, master, do not leave me, hear me ere you go.
There's woman,
Master, master,
there's woman,
master, master, do not leave me, do not leave me, hear me ere you go. Do not leave me, do not leave me, hear me ere you go. My love without reflecting, oh, do not be rejecting. Take a maiden tender, her affection raw and green, and very high rating has been accumulating. Summer 17, summer 17.
yes,
Don't
your
be
father,
master,
sing
watch me with disaster.
your
What is such a dower to the dower I have here? My love on creating has been accumulating 47
47 years. Faithless woman, I just did so.
Master, master, do not see me,
I
you
What shall I do? For these gentle maidens, I dare not show in this alarming costume. No, no, I must remain in close concealment until I can appear in decent clothing.
keep daring. Far away from mortal men, we make waves that make decrees. They may honor them.
We'll decrease and make decrees. They may honor them for please. Let us gaily tread our measure, make the most of fleeting leisure. If it has the truth alive, though it perish by and by. If it has the truth alive, though it perish by and by. Let us gaily tread the measure, make the most of fleeting leisure. Hail it as a true and life of true.
What a picturesque spot. I wonder where we are. And I wonder where Papa is. Oh, we have left him ever so far behind.
Oh, he will be here presently. Remember, poor Papa is not as young as we are, and we came over a rather difficult country.
But how thoroughly delightful it is to be so entirely alone. Why, in all probability, we are the first human beings to ever set foot on this enchanting spot.
Except the mermaids. It's the very place for mermaids.
Who are only human beings down to the waist, and who can't be said strictly to set foot anywhere. Tails they may, feet they cannot. What shall we do until Papa and the servants arrive with the luncheon? We are quite alone, and the sea is smooth as glass. Oh, suppose we take off our shoes and our stockings and paddle. Yes, very big.
Stop, ladies, pray. I had intended not to intrude myself upon your notice in this effective but alarming costume. But under these peculiar circumstances, it is my bounden duty to inform you your proceedings here will not be unwitnessed.
But who are you, Sir Speed?
I am a pirate.
A pirate!
Please do not shun me. This evening I renounce my vow profession, and to that end, O pure and peerless maidens, O blushing buds of ever-blooming beauty, I soar at heart, implore your kind assistance.
Oh, how pitiful his tale, how rare his beauty.
How pitiful his tale, how rare his beauty.
Is there not one maiden here whose homely face and bad complexion has caused disappear of ever-winning man's affection to such a one, if such there be? I swear by heavens on your above, if you will cast your eyes on me, however plain you be our love, however plain you be. If you will cast your eyes on me, however plain you'll be, how long
glasses rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may, and yet it rained but yesterday. Continue fine, I hope it may, and yet it rained but yesterday. How beautifully high, the glasses rising very high. Continue fine, I hope it may, and yet it rained but yesterday. Tomorrow it is rain, and you will the sun, and people say, we shall have a wonderland. People say, we shall have a wonderland of wars.
Stay, we must not lose our senses. Men who stick at no offenses will anon be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade is pray we get you handsome ladies while the coast is clear.
No, we mustn't lose our senses. If we sing at no offenses, we should not be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade is nice protection for your ladies. Let us kiss us. Too late! Too late!
It's a first-rate opportunity to get married with impunity and indulge in the felicity of unbounded felicity. We shall quickly be personified, logically natural modified by Dr. of Divinity, who is located in this vicinity.
We have missed our opportunity of escaping with impunity. So farewell to the felicity of our maiden domesticity. We shall quickly be personified, conjugally match modified by Doctor of Divinity, who is located in this vicinity. By Doctor of Divinity, who resides in this vicinity. By Doctor of Divinity. Of Divinity. Yes, he is a major general.
Yes, I am a major general.
For he is a major general.
He is the Robb, the major general.
And it is a glorious thing to be a major general.
It is the Robb, the major general. Robb, the major general.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical, from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I am very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations, both the simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem, I am teeming with a lot of news. Oh, lots of news. Ah, yes. With many cheerful facts about the square and the hypotenuse.
With many cheerful facts about the square and the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square and the hypotenuse. Many cheerful facts about the square and the hypotenuse.
I am very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific name of beings and of mountains. Short matters, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general.
Short matters, vegetable, animal, and mineral. He is the very model of a modern major general.
I know our mythic history, King Arthur's and Sir Caradoc. I answer hard acrostics. I have a great taste for paradox. I quote in elegiacs all the crimes of Heliogabalus. In conics I get four peculiarities parabolus. I can tell undoubted graphic notes from Janas and Socrates. I know the croaking chorus from the frogs of Aristophanes. And I can hum a fugue which I've heard the music's dinner for. Oh,
all the yes and that infernal nonsense pinafore. And whistle all the yes and that infernal nonsense pinafore. And whistle all the yes and that infernal nonsense pinafore.
Then I can write a Washington Babylonic cuneiform and tell you every detail of character Chris's uniform. Short in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern Major General.
He's short in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. He is the very model of a modern Major General.
In fact, when I know what is meant by Babylon and Ravelin, when I can tell at sight a Mauser rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises I'm all wary at, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I have learned what progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery. In short, when I've a smattering of elemental strategy. Oh, dear. Yes, I have it. You'll say a better Major General has never strategy.
You say a better Major General has never strategy. You say a better Major General has never strategy. You say a better Major General has never strategy.
For my military knowledge, for my plucky and adventure, has only been brought down to the beginning of the century, but still in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern Major General.
But still in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, he is the very model of a modern Major General.
Can you do that a little faster? I didn't catch it.
In fact, when I know what is meant by Mamelon and Ravelin, when I can tell at sight a Mauser rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises I'm all wary at, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I have learned what progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery, in short, when I've a smattering of elemental strategy. You'll say a better Major General has never run a hole.
Say a better Major General has never run a hole. Say a better Major General has never run a hole. Say a better Major General has never run a hole.
My military knowledge, though I'm plucky and adventurous, has only been brought down to the beginning of the century, but still in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, I am the very model of a modern Major General.
Still in matters vegetable, animal, and mineral, he is the very model of a modern Major General.
Permit me. I'll explain in 2 words. We propose to marry your daughters.
Dear me! But you mustn't do that. May I ask? This is a picturesque uniform, but I'm not familiar with it. What are you?
We are all single gentlemen.
Yes, I gathered that. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
Oh, do not believe them, Papa. They are pirates. The famous pirates of Penzance.
Pirates of Penzance. I have often heard of them.
All except for this gentleman, who was a pirate before, but who is out of his adventures today and needs to lead a blameless life evermore.
But wait a bit. I object to pirates as sons-in-law.
We object to Major Generals as fathers-in-law. But we waive that point. Do not press it. We look over it.
An idea. And do you mean to say that you would deliberately rob me of these, the and leave me to go through the remainder of my life unfriended, unprotected, and alone?
Well, yes, that's the idea.
Tell me, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan?
Oh, dash it all! Here we are again!
I ask you, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan?
Orphan.
Yes, orphan. Have you ever known what it is to be one?
I say orphan. Orphan, orphan, orphan!
I don't think we quite understand one another. I ask you, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan? And you say orphan. As I understand you, you're merely repeating the word orphan to show that you understand me.
I didn't repeat the word orphan.
Pardon me, you did indeed.
I only repeated it once.
True, but you repeated it.
But not often.
Stop! I think I can see where we are getting confused. When you said orphan, did you mean a person who has lost his parents, or orphan frequently?
Ah, beg pardon. I see what you mean. Frequently.
Yes, you said orphan frequently.
No, only once.
Exactly, you said orphan frequently only once. Oh, men of dark and dismal fate, forego your cruel employ. Have pity on my lonely state. I am an orphan boy. An orphan boy. How sad an orphan boy. These children whom you see are all that I can call my own. Oh, fellow, take them away from me, and I shall be indeed alone. Poor fellow, if pity you can feel, leave me my soul remaining joy. See at your feet they kneel, your heart you cannot steal, against the sad, sad tale of the lonely.
Telling a terrible story, she'll die by death and it's gory. It's one of the cruelest slaughters that ever was known in these waters. It is easy enough imitation to call it an innocent invasion, but it comes in the same category as telling a regular terrible story. It is easy and elegant diction to call it an innocent invasion, but it comes in the same category as telling a regular story.
we're always sorry to begin it. What we ask is life without a touch of poetry in it.
Domesticity, though a doctor of divinity is located in this vicinity.
Pray observe the magnanimity, they display today's sensitivity. Never was such opportunity to get married with dignity. But they give up the felicity of a mounted domesticity, though a doctor of divinity is located in this vicinity. But they give up the felicity of a mounted domesticity. But they give up the felicity of a mounted domesticity. Though a doctor of divinity, a doctor of divinity, a doctor.
try, dear Mabel, but why does he sit night after night in this drafty old ruin?
Why do I sit here? To escape from the pirates' clutches, I described myself as an orphan. And heaven help me, I am no orphan. I came here to humble myself before the tombs of my ancestors, to implore their pardon for having brought dishonor on the family escutcheon.
But you forget, sir, you only bought this property a year ago, and the stucco on your baronial castle is scarcely dry.
Frederic, in this chapel are ancestors. With the estate, I bought the chapel and its contents. I don't know whose ancestors they were, but I know whose ancestors they are. And I shudder to think that their descendant, by purchase, if I may so describe myself, should have brought disgrace on the family escutcheon.
Be comforted, sir. Had you not acted as you did, and these reckless men would have assuredly called in the nearest clergyman and have married your large family on the spot.
I thank you for your proffered solace, but it is unavailing. I assure you, Frederic, such is the anguish and remorse I feel at the abominable falsehood by which I escaped these easily deluded pirates, that I would go to their simple-minded chief this very night and confess all. Did I not fear that the consequences would be most disastrous to myself? At what time does your expedition march against these scoundrels?
At 11, and by midnight I hope to have atoned for my involuntary association with the pestilent scourges by sweeping them from the face of the earth. And then, dear Mabel, you will be mine.
Are your devoted followers at hand?
They are. They only await my orders.
Then, Frederic, let your escort lion-hearted be summoned to receive a general's blessing ere they depart upon their dread adventure.
Dear sir, they come.
And we find the wisest thing is to slap or just to say forward ready with a mute when your heart is in your mute. There is nothing raging round like the trumpet's martial sound, like the trumpet's martial sound. You are going to meet the fate in a highly nervous state. Still to us it's evident, these occasions are when gay.
Warrior
must rest, and preference alike to our Johnson coming back. Still, perhaps it would be wise not to carp or criticize, for it's very evident these attentions are well met.
Yes, it's very evident, these attentions are well met. Evident, yes, well met. Evident,
Ah, yes, well met.
Now for the pirate's lair. Oh, joy unbounded, oh, sweet relief, oh, rapture unexampled. At last I may atone in some slight measure for the repeated acts of theft and pillage, of which at a sense of duty's stern dictation, I, circumstance's victim, have been guilty.
Young Frederic,
Who calls
your late commander,
And I, your little Ruth.
Oh, man intruders, how dare ye face me? Know you not, oh rash ones, that I had doomed you to extermination?
have mercy on us. Hear us and slaughter.
I do not think I ought to listen to you, yet mercy shall alloy all stern resentment, and so I will be merciful. Say on.
When you had left a pirate boat, we tried to raise our spirits faint, according to our customs old, with quips and quibbles quaint. But all in vain the quips we heard. We lay and sobbed upon the rocks, until to somebody occurred a startling paradox.
A paradox.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. We quips and quibbles heard and thought, but not to read this paradox.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. This paradox.
We knew your taste for curious quips, for cranks and contradictions queer, and with the laughter on our lips we wished you there to hear. We said if we could tell it him, how Frederic would enjoy. And so we risked both life and limb to tell it to our boy.
That
paradox, that most ingenious paradox. We quips and quibbles heard and flocks, but not to read that paradox.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. Paradox.
Have a seat. For some ridiculous reason,
to which, however, I've no desire to be disloyal. Some person in authority, I don't know who, very likely the Astronomer Royal, has decided that, although for such a beastly month as February, 28 days as a rule are plenty, 1 year in every 4, his days shall be reckoned as 9 and 20. Through some singular coincidence, I shouldn't be surprised if it were owing to the agency of an ill-natured fairy. You are the victim of this clumsy arrangement, having been born a leap year in 29th of February. And so, by a simple arithmetical process, you'll easily discover that, though you've lived 21 years, yet if we go by birthdays, you're only 5 and a little bit over.
Dear me, let's see. Yes, with yours my fingers to agree. How quaint the ways of paradox, at common sense she gaily mocks. Though counting in my usual way, just 21 I've been alive. Yet reckoning by my natal day, I am a little boy of fire.
Yes, a little boy of
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. This paradox, a curious paradox, almost ingenious paradox.
Whimsical. 5 1/4? No one would think it to look at me.
You are glad now, I'll be bound, that you spared us. You would never have forgiven yourself when you discovered you'd killed 2 of your comrades.
My comrades?
I don't think you understand the delicacy of your position. You were apprenticed to us
Until I reach my 21st year.
No. Until you reached your 21st birthday. And going by birthdays, you're as yet 5 1/4.
You don't mean to say you are going to hold me to that?
Now, we merely remind you of it and leave the rest to your sense of duty.
Your sense of duty.
Don't put it on that footing. As I was merciful to you just now, be merciful to me. I implore you not to insist on the letter of your bond, just as the cup of happiness is at my lips.
We insist on nothing. We content ourselves with pointing out to you your duty.
Your duty?
Well, you have appealed to my sense of duty. My duty is only too clear. I abhor your infamous calling, and I shudder at the thought that I was ever mixed up in it. But duty comes before all. At any price I will do my duty.
Bravely spoken. Come, you're with us once more.
Lead on, I follow. Oh, horror!
What's the matter?
Ought I to tell them? No, I mustn't do it. And yet, as a member of your band,
Speak out. I charge you by that sense of conscientiousness to which we have never yet appealed in vain.
General Stanley, the father of my Mabel,
Yes, yes.
he escaped from you on the plea that he was an orphan.
He did.
Oh, It breaks my heart to betray the honored father of the girl I adore. But as your apprentice, I have no alternative. It is my duty to tell you that General Stanley is no orphan.
What?
More than that, he never was one.
Try to understand that to save his contemptible life, he dared to practice on our credulous simplicity? Our revenge shall be swift and terrible. We will go and collect our band and attack Tremorton Castle this very night!
But stay!
Not a word! He is doomed. Away, away, my heart's on fire. I'm on this base deception to Reneé. This very night, my vengeance dire shall cut itself and go away, away.
Away, away, ere I expire, I find my duty hard to do today. My heart is filled with anguish dire, it strikes me to the car, away, away.
With false and foul and tricks of our crimes, that vengeance howl the pirate's soul decides. Our nature stirred and softened with his lines, and in return tonight the traitor dies.
Yes, yes, tonight the traitor dies.
Yes, yes, tonight the traitor dies.
Tonight he dies.
Yes, and tomorrow
Souls like wise,
They will utter in sorrow.
the once of spot.
And it is they cherish.
and all the gods.
To abuse it shall perish.
Tonight he places a coming tomorrow. These girls like wise who both in sorrow. No one so smart as they need to cherish, and all who want to abuse it shall perish. Away, 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 tonight the traitor dies. Away, away, tonight, 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 the traitor dies tonight. Away.
All is prepared. Your gallant crew await you. My Frederic in tears. It cannot be the Lionheart quails at the coming conflict.
No, Mabel, no. A terrible disclosure has just been made. Mabel, my dearly loved one, I bound myself to serve the pirate captain until I reach my 120th birthday.
But you are 21.
I've just discovered that I was born in leap year, and that birthday will not be reached by me till 1940.
Oh, horrible. Catastrophe appalling.
And so farewell.
Ah, Frederic, hear me. Stay, Frederic, stay. They have no legal claim. No shadow or a shame will fall upon thy name. Stay, Frederic, stay.
Nay, Mabel, nay. Tonight I quit these walls. The thought my soul appalls, but when stern duty calls, I must obey.
Stay, Frederic, stay.
Mabel, nay.
We have no claim.
In duty's name,
No shadow of a shame
but
will stand in Stay, Frederic, stay.
I must obey.
Oh, leave me not to pine
In 1940 I of age shall be. I'll then return and claim you, I declare it.
It seems so long.
Swear that till then you will be true to me.
Yes, I'll be strong. By all the Stanleys dead and gone, I swear it. Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joyous laughter. He will be faithful to me soon, till we are wed and even after.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
She will be faithful to
He
us.
will be faithful to
Till
his
we are wed and even after.
till we are wed.
And even after.
Yes, even after. Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joyous laughter. He will be faithful to us soon, till we are wed and even after. She will be faithful to us soon,
Till we are wed and
even after.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
Oh, here is love, No, I am brave. Oh, family descent, how great thy charm, thy sway, how excellent. Come one and all, undaunted men in blue. A crisis now, affairs are coming to.
Though in body and in mind,
Tarantara, tarantara,
we are timidly inclined,
tarantara,
and anything but blind.
tarantara, tarantara,
Danger that's behind.
tarantara,
Yet when the danger's near,
tarantara, tarantara,
we manage to appear
tarantara.
as insensible to fear as anybody here, as anybody here.
Tarantara, tarantara,
Sergeant, approach. Young Frederic was to have led you to death and glory.
That is not a pleasant way of putting it.
No matter. He will not so lead you, for he has once more allied himself with his old associates.
He has acted shamefully.
You speak falsely. You know nothing about it. He has acted nobly.
He has acted nobly.
Dearly as I love him, his heroic sacrifice to his sense of duty has endured me to him tenfold. He has done his duty, and I will do mine. Go ye and do yours.
Righto. This is perplexing. We cannot understand it at all. Still, as he is actuated by a sense of duty, that makes a difference, of course. At the same time, we repeat, we cannot understand it at all. No matter, our course is clear. We must do our best to capture these pirates alone. It is most distressing to us to be the agents by which our erring fellow creatures are deprived of that liberty which is so dear to us all. But we should have thought of that before we joined the force.
We should.
It's too late now. It is. When a of balance, not engaged in his employment. Nor maturing his felonious little plans. His capacity for innocent enjoyment. Is just as great as any honest man's. Of feelings me with difficulty smother. When constabulary duties to be done. I'll take one consideration with another. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. When constabulary duties to be done. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. When the enterprising burglar's not a burgling. When the cutthroat is an occupying crime. He loves to hear the little brook a-gurgling. And listen to the merry village chime.
Ding dong.
When a coster's finished jumping on his mother. He loves to lie a-basking in the sun. I'll take one consideration with another. A policeman's lot is not an happy one. When constabulary duties to be done. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. Hush, hush, I hear them on the man approaching. With stealthy steps the pirates are approaching.
We are not coming for trade or road. The story General Stanley told. We seek a penalty 50 votes for General Stanley's story.
They seek a penalty.
50 votes, we seek a penalty.
54.
We seek a
Penalty 54 for General Stanley's story.
They come in force. With steady stride, our obvious course is now to hide. We cast like tread upon our prey we steal. In silence dread, our cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. A fly's footfall will be distinctly heard. So stealthily the pirate creeps while all the house so soundly sleeps. Come, friends, round the sea, truce to navigation, take another station. Let's bury piracy with a little burglary. Come, friends, who plow the sea, truce to navigation, take another station. Let's bury piracy with a little burglary.
Here's your crowbar and your sense of it. Your life you may want to hit. Your silent matches, your dark lantern seas. Take your run and my skeleton keys. Get the train, silent train. We can't like tread upon a prey we steal. In silence dread, our cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. A fly's footfall would be distinctly heard. Come, friends, and plow the sea. Truce to navigation, take another station. Let's bury piracy with a little
hush, hush, not a word. I see a light inside. The Major General comes so quickly high.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes. Yes, yes, the Major General comes.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes. Tormented by the anguish dread of falsehood unatoned, I lay upon my sleepless bed and tossed and turned and groaned. The man who finds his conscience ache no peace at all enjoys. And as I lay in bed awake, I thought I heard a noise.
He thought he heard a noise.
No, all is still in dale on hill. My mind is set at ease. So still the scene, it must have been the sighing of the Sighing softly to the river comes the loving breeze, set in nature all a quiver, rustling through the trees. And the brook in rippling measure laughs for very love, while the poplars in their pleasure wave their arms above.
Yes, the trees are very low, with their leafy arms above. The brook that green is overflowed, my love is but a road. Stand along upon the trees, and haunting by a fickle breeze. Stand along upon the trees, haunting by
Now what is this and what is that and why this fatherly distress at such a time of night is this so very incompletely dressed? Dear father is and always was the most methodical of men. It is invariable rule to go to bed at 10:30. What strange occurrence can it be that caused your father from his rest? At such a time of night is this so very incompletely dressed? So very incompletely dressed! At such a time of
Yes, we're all pirates of the
Frederic here, oh joy, oh rapture! Summon your men and effect their capture!
Frederic, save us!
Beautiful Mabel, I would if I could, but I am not able.
He's telling the truth, he is not able. Get down!
We face deceit. You worked upon our feelings. Revenge is sweet, and flavors all our dealings. With courage rare and resolution manly, for death prepare, happy General Stanley.
Is he to die, unshriven on a Will no one in his cause a weapon wield?
Yes, we are here, though hitherto concealed. So to constabulary pirates yield.
your proud triumph will not be long-lived. Don't say your offense, for we know that game. On your allegiance we've a stronger claim. We charge you yield. We charge you yield in Queen Victoria's name. You do, we do, we charge you yield in Queen Victoria's name. We yield at once with humble mien, because with all our faults we love our Queen.
Yes, yes, with all their faults they love their Queen. Yes, yes, with all their faults they love their Queen.
Away with them and place them at the bar.
One moment, let me tell you who they are. They are no members of the common throng. They are all noble men who have gone wrong.
They are all noble men who have gone wrong.
No Englishman unmoved that statement hears, because with all our faults we love our house of peers. I pray you, pardon me, ex-tyrant king. Peers will be peers, and youth will have its fling. Resume your ranks and legislative duties, and take my daughters, all of whom are beauties.